Hello everyone, my name is Khalid,
And I'm Brian Nelson.
and welcome back to another episode of the 3 key takeaways from Ohio State's upcoming matchup against Rutgers. Brian, to start off, I want to ask you, what is your first key takeaway from this game?
Well, it kind of branches off from how Ohio State played against Wisconsin. They got off to a very slow start. They were down 38-20 at halftime, and that's been something that Ohio State's been struggling with for a major portion of the season.
Yeah.
They just do not control the court in the first half. They have a lot of unnecessary errors that limit their offense, and then in the second half they're playing they're trying to catch up a lot.
I agree with that. Like you said, we talk about those 3 big wins early in the season against Kentucky, Villanova, and North Carolina, and those are games where they jumped out to large leads and kind of controlled the momentum of the game, and that's kind of how they are. They're kind of a momentum team where if they jump out fast, then they'll probably finish fast, but if they jump out slow, they're probably going to finish slow. So I think that's a huge key point looking into this game.
Exactly, especially because the Big Ten is such a deep conference where every team can beat you.
There's around like 12 teams that
like
can potentially make the tournament.
Exactly.
It's that deep.
You know, like look at a team like Rutgers that Ohio State's playing tomorrow. They were a team I think that was predicted by people to finish 12th in the Big Ten conference. They've really exceeded expectations.
Ohio State was number 2 in the country until they started Big Ten play, and then things kind of went south. So it tells you how deep they are.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is your second key point?
My second key point kind of branches off. Ohio State has a turnover problem.
Right.
It is really, really not like the most important thing, but Ohio State consistently averages 10 or more turnovers per game, and usually when they lose, it's more around 15 turnovers.
Right.
Against Wisconsin, they had 14 turnovers, and that's a trend that goes all the way back to when they beat Penn State in December. Ever since then, they usually have 10 or more turnovers.
Yeah, and the turnovers stem from them trying to force situations. This team is like, sometimes they'll get into this mindset where it's like, all right, we're taking a lot of jump shots. We need to get Kaleb, Wesson the ball in the paint. And then you'll see everyone just kind of forcing terrible passes into the post, which leads to turnovers. It also doesn't help that they're kind of thin at the backcourt position, which is kind of one of the most important positions when you're thinking about ball control and things like that. So, yeah, this team definitely needs to get their stuff together and kind of cut down on turnovers if they want to pick this thing back up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about guard play. C.J. Walker, Dwayne Washington, Luther Muhammad, they all need to just play calm. I said this last week. Yeah. They just need to be calm and collected. They don't need to necessarily force things, but they just need to give everyone equal looks.
I agree. Everyone needs to just kind of calm down a little bit. All right, so moving on to the third key point. Brian, what is your third key point?
My third key point is about this Rutgers team. They've been struggling a little bit as of late. They lost to Maryland, they've lost to Michigan, and they just...
Both great teams.
Both great teams, and they just barely beat Northwestern in overtime at home.
Right.
This is a team that was ranked at one point in the season, much like Ohio State.
Right.
And now both teams aren't ranked. This is a team that's looking for a surprise NCAA tournament bid. And and the Big Ten's generally been pretty tough on the road, so you could say that puts Rutgers at a disadvantage. But I think Rutgers is going to come into this game. They're going to try and control the court from the beginning. I think they're going to come out hot, and I think they're going to hit Ohio State hard.
Right. I actually agree with that. I think this game specifically is kind of a battle of 2 teams that are kind of with the same mindset. They're coming into this thing trying to find some stability and gain some momentum going into the end, towards the end of the season. Both teams have kind of been up and really down, so it's kind of like you never know what you're going to expect from either team. Ohio State can jump out and score 100 points on you, but they can also come out and struggle to get to 50, you know. And Rutgers is kind of the same thing. They're, like you said, they went into overtime against Northwestern, but they also beat great teams. So it's kind of like you really don't know, and these are 2 teams, I feel like, with the same identity right now. And this can be a matchup where we kind of see the best of both teams because they're both going to be fighting for the same thing.
Yeah, and this is a must-win for Ohio State, especially after losing to Wisconsin. If Ohio State wants a legitimate chance at making an NCAA tournament, they need to win this game. Because this is a quality win for them.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if they do lose this game, man, that's a good amount of losses in their past, I would say 10 to 15 games.
Yeah.
So I'll say Ohio State, they have picked it up a little bit with the Northwestern, Indiana, and Michigan win. They did lose to Wisconsin in a nasty fashion, but if they can turn things back around and get some momentum and get a win against Rutgers, and then follow it up with Purdue before they have to face a team like Iowa who's ranked, I think that'll be a good start for them heading towards the end of the season.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I think those are it. Those are our 3 key points. And from Brian Nelson, I'm Khalid and thank you for watching Lantern TV.